Hey, welcome back to Trust or Rust. Today is our last weekend of tractor pulling up here in the northwest corner of Washington State. I figured, hey, let's do a walk around of the sled. Everybody does tractor pulling, but I haven't seen anybody do a walk around of the sled. So we're going to start here. This sled weighs about 34,000 pounds. It's got a set of tandems, air brakes. Here's your weight. Oh, and some tools and a hubcap. This is legal to be towed behind the truck to go down the road. Takes a little bit of work. You gotta chain the skid plate up. Then you pull this hitch out here. There's a pin on the other side over here. Pull those two pins. Slide that out and you slide in your penalty hitch. Here's your air brakes, or air for your brakes. It is a self-moving sled. It's got the front lift axle here to lift the skid plate off the ground. Small block Chevy 350. Turbo 350 automatic. Pretty basic. So down there at the far end, a little red trailer. You may have seen them in other videos. Oh, we got rain coming. It has electronic creator board by Daktronics. And right down here, this motorcycle wheel, that is how we do our reading. It's got a flywheel. I don't remember what the flywheel's off of, but there's an exciter. That's the exciter wheel. Then you have a sensor right there that runs down to it that's reading it. I don't know if you can see that. Right now it's chained up because they drove it here from the showgrounds down around the corner to the west field of the park. There's your battery. There's the air compressor, air cleaner. Now this here is a electric hydraulic pump, and this pump runs the skid plate. This will put pressure on the skid plate, or it'll take pressure off. It'll rock it front to back. Here's your cylinder. So you can set this up to put pressure even across the pan, or you can put it on the heel of the pan or on the nose of the pan. If you put it on the nose of the pan, it'll pull a little easier for the lighter tractors. If you put it on the heel of the pan, it'll pull easy to start with going down the track, and then as the weight comes on, as that weight box comes up, that pan's going to rock forward and slam all the pressure with all the weight on the ground. On the bottom of the pan, you have what we call grousers. It's just metal pieces that are welded across the bottom of the skid plate. So it's not just a smooth steel pan, and it's creating drag. Well, that's something, if you don't, and this video is more for people that don't know how a sled works. If you've been tractor pulling, you already know how the sled works. So so the idea is, we'll start up here. Well, here's the monitor for our sled. Controls, got the brake for the box, got brake for the wheels, and the throttle for the engine. You got your controls for lifting the front axle there. Again, that's on the hydraulics. So one of these, I don't remember which because I haven't operated this sled in a long time. One of these is going to make the axle go up and down. The other one's going to steer us so you can drive back. You have different range selections. Right here you have a high and a low. Here you have three gears here, A, B, and C, and then you got 1, 2, and 3 here. And here's your chart of all the gear selections and how many feet that box will go up in. We can do as little as 40 feet all the way to 1,566 feet just by choosing high-low here. Let's say they got this one taped. You want to top the box out at 256 feet. I'll show you. There's another transmission, but so far here you're in C1, so you'd move this to C, rock that up to C1, make sure it's in low. But each time you bring the sled back, I think you have to be in B3 in high to be able to back it up. You could, yeah, I think that's the gear selection that you want to back the sled up after a pull. And then you have your neutral lockout. Up here you have another transmission. Here's your 5 speeds. According to that chart, to do that 256 feet, you would take this shifter handle there, go up and into 3rd gear. And to make sure it's in gear, you hold that shifter in the spot that you want and you rock that flywheel right there on the back of the transmission. I did not do that once, and I had moved this shifter into one of these ranges and I went for a ride behind a Dodge truck. It was kind of exciting. The only problem is, because the box just stayed here at the back, I didn't know this was a brake pedal for the box. I had no idea what that was for. So when I went on that ride, we got stopped in time okay, but when we stopped, all that momentum, all of a sudden that box went flying up, hit the stops, and I want to say, boy, it sheared something. We had to stop and fix. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but something in here got messed up and we had to fix it before we continued to pull. All I got out of that deal, I mean, I didn't rear end the truck because I had my foot on the brakes. The only problem is he had a head of steam on before I knew what was going on. I was like, I should have seen this box. It should have passed me right here, and it was still back here. So kind of exciting, a little nerve-wracking. Once I knew what that pedal was for, then I had my foot hovering over it when we were pulling the high-speed stuff. So okay, back to gear selection. So now let's say we're doing the 256 foot. We put it in C1. It's in, you'd move it into low, which is up here. There's your L, there's your H for that shifter there. Let's say we put it in 3rd gear down there. Clear the monitor from your last hook. You're ready to go. We have green lights down there on the left for this sled and on the right for the other sled, and red light. So you flip the switch on, give the puller the green light, he starts pulling. Now all those transmissions are hooked to this box. We'll get up here. So that box is tied to a chain. She leads up to here. That sprocket, I mean, this is tied to a sprocket. It was tied on the shaft to the big sprocket that drops down and, well, runs off the suspension of the sled. So the puller starts pulling. We're going down the track. This box starts coming up the rails. You can see the wear marks. See the chain coming, chain going. So then it's all up to the puller to get down the track as far as it can, and it's the sled operator to make sure they don't go as far as they want to go. I mean, if you're the sled operator, you don't want anybody getting a full pull. So it's kind of hit to your pride. It's like, no, you're not getting a full pull. So anyway, that's our walk around to the sled. Our pull is supposed to start here pretty soon. Oh, I see we got a flat. We got low tires. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just sitting funny. Oh, that could be. There's a lot of torque on the axle, like it didn't get straightened out. This is set in, so it's probably putting pressure on it. Anyway, that's a walk around the far sled. The gentleman that built this, if I remember right, his name is Alan Vanderzanden. He's out of Oregon, and he built 3 of these, I believe. There's 2 more still running around down south Oregon or southern Washington. So we don't travel with the sled much. We have been down to Seattle to the drag strip where they set up a temporary pull track next to the drag strip, and it was all truck drag, so they drag race the trucks. Then when they're done racing that, then they came out and hooked to the sled. So now, and here's a better look while we're here. Got all those transmissions running that chain up to this big wheel, which comes through. It's tied to the chain, and that's what's pulling the box. I didn't get you a good look at that before, so there you go. Pulling sled 101. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.